Good morning everyone. Basa na tayo ng Bible guys. NIV version yung binabasa ko ha. Pang March 11 na natin. Pero March 2 pa lang tayo ngayon. Advance. Deuteronomy 14, 15, and 16 and Mark 12, 28. Mark chapter 12 verse 28 to 44. Dito muna tayo sa Deuteronomy guys. 14, 15, and 16. Clean and unclean food. Chapter 14 guys. You are the children of the Lord your God. Do not cut yourselves or shave the front of your heads for the dead. For you are a people holy to the Lord your God. Out of all the peoples on the face of the earth, the Lord has chosen you to be His treasured possession. Nakaka-jealous. Sila lang yung sila lang yung chosen one. Do not eat any detestable thing. These are the animals you may eat: the ox, the sheep, the goat, the deer, the gazelle, the roe, the wild goat, the ibex, the antelope, and the mountain sheep. You may eat any animal that has a split hoof divided into, and that chews the cud. However, of those that chew the cud or that have a split hoof completely divided, you may not eat the camel, the rabbit, or the coney. Although they chew the cud, they do not have split hoof. They are ceremonially unclean for you. The pig is also unclean. Huwag kumain ng baboy guys. Although it has a split hoof, it does not chew the cud. You are not eat their meat or touch their carcasses. Hala. So, paano na tayo ngayon guys? Ayan, parati ang kinakain natin. Yung pigo. Of all the creatures living in the water, you may eat any that has fins and scales. Ang daming bawal. But anything that does not have fins and scales, you may not eat, for you it is unclean. Yung hito, wala rin kaliskis yun. Bawal din kainin. You may eat any clean bird, but this you may not eat: the eagle, the vulture, the black vulture, the red kite, the black kite, and any of falcon, any kind of robin, the horned owl, the screech owl, the gull, any kind of hawk, the little owl, the great owl, the white owl, the desert owl, the osprey, the cormorant, the stork, any kind of heron, the hoopoe, and the bat. O, bawal yung paniki guys. Kainin. Pero nag-start yung COVID-19, di ba kinain nga raw yung bawal pala All flying insects that swarm are unclean to you. Lahat ng flying insects unclean. Do not eat them, but any winged creature that is clean you may eat. Do not eat anything you find already dead. You may give it to an alien living in any of your towns, and he may eat it, or you may sell it to a foreigner, but you are a people holy to the Lord your God. Sa kanila, bawal, tapos pwedeng ipagbili sa mga foreigner. It's unfair. Nakalagay guys sa 21 Do not eat anything you may find already dead. Kumbaga sa yung mga double dead na guys. Halimbawa, yung mga patay na animal, tapos kakatayin ulit, double dead na yun. already did na. You may give it to an alien living in any of your towns, and he may eat it, or you may sell it to a foreigner. But you are people holy to the Lord your God. Do not cook a young goat in its mother's milk. Tithes. Be sure to set aside a tenth of all that your fields produce each year, but the tithe of your grain, new wine and oil, and the firstborn of your herds and flocks in the presence of the Lord your God and the place he will choose as a dwelling for his name, so that you may learn to revere the Lord your God always. But if that place is too distant, and you have been blessed by the Lord your God and cannot carry your tithe, because the place where the Lord will choose to put his name is so far away, then exchange your tithe for silver and take the silver with you and go to the place the Lord your God will choose. Use the silver to buy whatever you like, cattle, sheep, wine, or other fermented drink, or anything you wish. Then you and your household shall eat there in the presence of the Lord your God and rejoice. And do not neglect the Levites living in your towns, for they have no allotment or inheritance of their own. At the end of every 3 years, bring all the tithes of that year's produce and store it in your towns, so that the Levites, who have no allotment or inheritance of their own, and the aliens, the fatherless, and the widows who live in your towns may come and eat and be satisfied, and so that the Lord your God may bless you in all the work of your hands. The year of canceling debts, chapter 15 na guys. At the end of every 7 years, you must cancel debts. This is how it is to be done. Every creditor shall cancel the loan he has made to his fellow Israelite. He shall not require payment from his fellow Israelite or brother, because the Lord's time for canceling debt has been proclaimed. So, ibig sabihin guys, yung pautang mo na 7 years, hindi mo na ako sisingilin. Wawa naman kami. Sorry. Ano lang yan, reaction lang. Kasi nakalagay kasi canceling of debts. Pag 7 years na raw. Para namang masakit yun syempre. Pero mo, ang tagal kang babayaran. Tapos pagdating ng 7 years, ika-cancel na. Eh di gano'n na lang ng gano'n. Maghihintay na lang yung nangungutang ng aabotin sila ng 7 years. Tapos hindi na sila magbabayad. Gano'n. Yun ang pagkaintindi ko. Basahin nyo ulit. Eh di pag gano'n na lang, huwag ka na magpautang. Diba? At the end of even sa 5th, ayun na nga, has been proclaimed. Kayo, ulitin nyo guys yung chapter 15 verse 1. At the end of every 7 years, you must cancel debts. This is how it is to be done. Every creditor shall cancel the loan he has made to his fellow Israelite. He shall not require payment from his fellow Israelite or brother, because the Lord's time for canceling debts has been proclaimed. You may require payment from a foreigner, but you must cancel any debts your brother owes you. Pagkapatid lang. Yung kapwa Israelite lang. Pero pagka foreigner, singilin syempre. However, there shall be no poor among you, for in the land the Lord your God is giving you to possess as your inheritance, he will richly bless you, if only you fully obey the Lord your God and are careful to follow all these commands. Excuse me. Nag-reaction lang tayo, nagbara na yung lalamunan ko. Ayaw yata pa-react dito. However, nakalagay guys, dapat wala daw mahirap sa mga Israelite. However, there shall be no poor among you, for in the land of the Lord God is giving you to possess as your inheritance, he will richly bless you. Ang swerte nila, no? Walang mahirap sa kanila. If only you fully obey the Lord your God and are careful to follow all these commands I am giving you today, for the Lord your God will bless you as he has promised, and you will lend to many nations, but will borrow from none. So, pwede silang magpahiram sa mga tiga-ibang bansa, pero hindi sila Kasi sobrang yaman nga nila. Pero hindi sila mangungutang. You will roll over many nations, but none will roll over you. Wow. If there is a poor man among your brothers in any of the towns of the land that the Lord your God is giving you, do not be hard-hearted or tight-faced toward your poor brother. Rather, be open-handed and freely lend him whatever he needs. Be careful not to harbor this wicked thought. The seventh year, the year of canceling the is near, so that you do not show ill toward your needy brother and give him nothing. Kaya walang mahirap sa kanila kasi tinutulungan yung mga mahihirap. How I wish ganyan yung natin, yung pananaw natin sa buhay. Hindi lang dapat sa Israelite. He may then appeal to the Lord against you, and you will be found guilty of sin. Give generously to him, and do so without a grudging heart. Then because of this the Lord your God will bless you in all your work and in everything you put your hand to. There will always be poor people in the land. Therefore I command you to be open-handed toward your brothers and toward the poor and the needy in your land. Praying servants. If a fellow Hebrew, a man or a woman, sells himself to you and serves you 6 years, in the 7th year you must let him go free. And when you release him, do not, parang familiar na sa atin, pinabasa na rin natin ito guys eh. Anong book ba yun? Yung and when you release him, do not send him away empty-handed. Supply him liberally from your flock, your threshing floor, and your winepress. Give to him as the Lord your God has blessed you. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and the Lord your God redeemed you. That is why sorry, maglalagay ako ng patungan. Ang hirap basahin. Walang patungan. Sobrang ingay pa. Bumagsak eh. Sorry po. He may then appeal to the Lord against you. Ay, saan na ba yun? Ay, dito na tayo sa Bumalik ako doon sa verse 9. Dito na tayo sa verse 12, diba? If a fellow Hebrew, praying servants, if a fellow Hebrew, a man or woman sells himself to you, ulit guys, sa verse 12, basahin niyo ulit. Praying servants, if a fellow Hebrew, a man or a woman sells himself to you and serves you 6 years, in the 7th year you must let him go free. And when you release him, do not send him away empty-handed. Supply him liberally from your flock, your threshing floor, and your winepress. Give to him as the Lord your God have blessed you. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and the Lord your God redeemed you. That is why I give you this command today. But if your servant says to you, I do not want to leave you because he loves you and your family, and he will off with you, then take an awl and push it through his earlobe into the door, and he will become your servant for life. Do the same for your maidservant. Do not consider it a hardship to set your servant free, because his service to you these 6 years has been worth twice as much as that of a hard hand, and the Lord your God will bless you in everything you do. The firstborn animals. Set apart for the Lord your God every firstborn male of your herds and flocks. Do not put the firstborn of your oxen to work, and do not share the firstborn of your sheep. Each year you and your family are to eat them in the presence of the Lord your God at the place he will choose you. If an animal has a defect, is lame or blind, or has any serious flaw, you must not sacrifice it to the Lord your God. Kasi nga dapat walang defect yung i-aalay nila, i-offering nila. Kailangan, pati nga yung pati nga yung priest, diba, perfect din. No defect. Nakalagay sa 21, guys. Oh, you must not sacrifice the Lord. Sa 22 na tayo. You are to eat it in your own towns, both the ceremonially unclean and the clean may eat it, as if it were gazelle or deer. But you must not eat the blood, pour it out on the ground like water. Ayaw talaga ikakain yung blood. Marami daw, marami kasi. Hindi sa marami, kundi yung parang yung blood, nandoon yung life, di ba? Ayaw ipakain. Basta unclean siya. Passover, observe the month of Abib and celebrate the Passover of the Lord your God, because in the month of Abib he brought you out of Egypt by night. Sacrifice as the Passover to the Lord your God an animal from your flock or herd at the place the Lord will choose as dwelling for his name. Do not eat it with bread made with yeast, but for 7 days eat unleavened bread, the bread of affliction, because you left Egypt in haste, so that all the days of your life you may remember the time of your departure from Egypt. Let no yeast be found in your possession in all your land for 7 days. Do not let any of the meats you sacrifice on the evening of the first day remain until morning. You must not sacrifice the Passover in any town. Kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo guys, itong Bible, parang exclusive lang siya sa story ng Israelite. Wala kang mababasa dito na hindi para sa Israelite. Pang sa kanila nga lang. Mula nung in-slavery sila ng Egypt hanggang sa makalabas sila, puro sa kanila lang yung story. Nabasa na rin nga natin to pero binalik na naman niya sa Deuteronomy. Dito na tayo sa chapter 16 verse 5, guys. You must not sacrifice the Passover in any town the Lord your God gives you, except in the place you will choose as a dwelling for his name. There you must sacrifice the Passover in the evening when the sun goes down on the anniversary of your departure from Egypt. Roast it and eat it at the place the Lord your God will choose. Then in the morning return to your tents for 6 days, eat unleavened bread, and on the 7th day hold an assembly to the Lord your God, and no work. Feast of Weeks. Count of 7 weeks from the time you begin to put the sickle to the standing grain. Then celebrate the Feast of Weeks to the Lord your God by giving a freewill offering in the proportion of the blessings the Lord your God has given you, and rejoice before the Lord your God at the place he will choose as dwelling for his name. You, your sons and daughters, your men servants and maid servants, the Levites in your towns, and the aliens, the fatherless and the widows living among you, remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and follow carefully these decrees. Feast of Tabernacle. Hanggang 16 lang tayo guys, chapter 16. Feast of Tabernacles. Celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days after you have gathered the produce of your threshing floor. After you have gathered the produce of your threshing floor and your winepress, be joyful at your feast. You, your sons and daughters, you, your sons and daughters, your maidservants, your menservants and maidservants, and the Levites, the aliens, the fatherless, and the widows who live in your town. Inulit-ulit. Yung Feast Week tsaka yung Feast of Tabernacles, halos magkapareho, guys. Magkapareho dun sa doon sa your sons, you, your sons, and your daughters may serve as your pati Levites. Yan sa verse 15 na tayo. For 7 days celebrate the feast to the Lord your God at the place the Lord will choose. For the Lord your God will bless you in all your harvest and all the work of your hands, and your joy will be complete. 3 times a year all your men must appear before the Lord your God at the place he will choose, at the feast of unleavened bread, the feast of weeks, and the feast of the tabernacles. No man should appear before the Lord empty-handed. Sorry. Palala na guys yung tiyan natin. Ayun na. Taga to. Kailangan ng huminto. 3 times a year. All your men, sa verse 16. 3 times a year all your men must appear before the Lord your God at the place he will choose, at the feast of unleavened bread, the feast of weeks, and the feast of the tabernacles. No man should appear before the Lord empty-handed. Each he must bring a gift in proportion to the way the Lord your God has blessed you. So 3 times a year, guys, mag-alay kayo ng wala daw walang no man should appear before the Lord empty-handed. Laws for ruling the nation, Judges. Verse 18. Appoint judges and officials for each of your tribes in every town the Lord your God is giving you, and they shall judge the people fairly. Do not pervert justice or show partiality. Do not accept a bribe, for a bribe blinds the eyes of the wise and twists the words of the righteous. Follow justice and justice alone, so that you may live and possess the land the Lord your God is giving you. Ayun, dapat wag daw mag-accept ng bribe. Pero sa generation natin ngayon, ewan ko lang kung mayroon pang hindi mag-accept ng bribe. Verse 2, mark na tayo, guys. Mark chapter 12, verse 28 to 44. Okay, basa. Religious leaders question Jesus about the greatest commandment. Nabasa na rin to sa Matthew, guys. One of the teachers of the law came. Kahit nung araw, guys, yung mga teachers of the law, lagi talagang nag-ano kay Jesus. One of the teachers of the law came and heard them debating, noticing that Jesus had given them a good answer. He asked him, of all the commandments, which is the most important? The most important one, answered Jesus, is this, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. The most important one daw, guys, answered Jesus. Is this, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. The second one is this, love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than this. Well said, teacher, the man replied, you are right in saying that God is one, and there is no other but Him. Dito na tayo, guys, So, iisa lang ang Isa lang ang Diyos. One of the teachers. The Lord our God, the Lord is one. So love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. The second is this, love your neighbors as yourself. There is no commandment greater than this. Once the teacher, the man replied, you are right in saying that God is one and there is no other but Him. To love Him with all your heart, with all your understanding, and with all your strength, and to love your neighbor as yourself is more important than all burnt offerings and sacrifices. When Jesus saw that he had answered wisely, he said to him, you are not far from the kingdom of God, and from then on no one dared ask him any more questions. Religious leaders cannot answer Jesus' question. While Jesus was teaching in the temple courts, he asked, how is it that the teacher of the law said that the Christ is the son of David? David himself speaking by the Holy Spirit declared, the Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I put your enemies under your feet. David himself calls him Lord. How then can he be his son? The Lord's crowd listened to him with delight. Jesus warns against the religious leaders. As he taught, Jesus said, watch out for the teachers of the law. They like to walk around in flowing robes and be greeted in the marketplaces and have the most important seats in the synagogues and the places of honor at banquets. At banquet. At ban- the banquet, guys. They devour widows' houses, and for Ashamic lengths prayers such men will be punished most severely. A poor widow gives all she has. Jesus sat down opposite the place where the offerings were put and watched the crowd putting their money into the temple treasury. Many rich people threw in large amounts, but a poor widow came and put in two very small copper coins, worth only a fraction of a penny. Calling his disciples to him, Jesus said, I tell you the truth, this poor widow has put more into the treasury than all the others. They all gave out of their wealth, but she, out of her poverty, put in everything, all she had to live on. Ayun na guys, tapos na tayo doon. Hanggang 44 lang eh. Bukas na yung chapter 13. Bye everyone. God bless.